right, this is exciting. We get to get started. Thank you all for coming. Welcome to our 4th annual State of the Student Address and Celebration. We want to thank our teachers, administrators, and staff for making the district such a wonderful space for our students to learn and grow and become globally minded citizens. We also want to thank our parents and our community for entrusting us to foster growth and development in our children. The Board of Trustees remains committed to our strategic plan and our 4 objectives, which are balanced learners, supported staff, communications, sound finance, and infrastructure. Board, please stand at this time and wave as your name is announced. Our Board of Trustees include Todd May, Emily Yolmer, Marco Hardy, Elliot Foley, and Michelle Sensich-Hodge, who's unable to be here with us. We'd also like to take this moment to introduce our entire team this evening. Cabinet, please stand at this time and wave as you are announced. Dr. Michelle Rollins, Assistant Superintendent of Business Services. Julio Arroyo, Director of Maintenance, Operations, and Safety. Dagmar Erickson, Director of Human Resources. Kate Sprague, Director of Educational Technology and Accountability. Laura Myers, Director of Educational Services and our improv. Erin Conklin, Director of Student Support Services, is unable to be here as well. The work our staff does behind the scenes is critical to the development of our students here in our district. Tonight's program is dedicated to Todd May, Emily Yulhorn, and Marco Party. These members of our Board of Trustees have served our community for the past 4 to 9 years, and their investment in our students and school district is invaluable. Thank you. Their 3 seats on our board are available and being elected next week, and so we remind all of you to vote by next Tuesday. As I said, we do have 4 goals here in our district, that first being balanced learners, our second being supported staff, our third communications, and our 4th sound finance and infrastructure. It is now my pleasure to introduce our principals and ask them to introduce their students who will be answering questions that provide all of us with a current view of the state of the students here in Mill Valley School District. We know how important it is for us to give our students the opportunity to speak and weigh in on important issues that affect their lives, their classmates' lives, and our entire community. You will see tonight that our future rests well in the hands of this generation of Mill Valley learners. First, we have Daniel McCord from Edna McGuire Elementary.
Thank you. I never get tired of that picture. Not of mine, of the school. So our first student is Dean Safe. He's a 5th grader in Mr. Gaines' class at Edna McGuire. So Dean, please give us your thoughts on, and here's the questions that he has. Traffic in Mill Valley can be quite busy. What recommendations do you have for our city planners? And what recommendations do you have for community members in Mill Valley?
I got 3 ideas. The first of the 3 is to have more rock and roll school days, which can take less cars off the streets and is better for the environment. My second idea is to have more roundabouts rather than stop signs because it can help the flow of traffic. And lastly, it is to have the stoplights phased better. You'll see it in the city when they all turn green at once, so you can get to your destination quicker.
Thank you, Dean. I hope we took note of that for him. Yes. Alex Fleischman is a 5th grader in Miss Frazier's class. So Alex, please tell us, how would you describe your ability to regulate your feelings and emotions at home and in school? And what are some strategies you use to regulate your feelings when you are experiencing different emotions?
My brother sometimes get on my nerves, but my tools are with me wherever and whenever. How do I cope with my feelings at school? Well, to be honest, it's kind of difficult. To regulate my feelings, I use a lot of toolbox tools. When I get frustrated or annoyed, a tool that stops me going from the green to red zone is the breathing tool. The icon for the breathing tool is a measuring tape, so when we use it, we take out an imaginary measuring tape, and when we pull the tape, we take a deep breath. The pandemic has made me angry at times, so I've had to use my toolbox tools a lot. Whenever I use the breathing tool, I see a tagline in my head. I calm myself and check in. The tagline itself calms me down. But if I had to describe how I use my breathing tool, the tagline and hand gesture are amazing. Whenever I use the breathing tool, I see a tagline in my head. I calm myself and check in. Well, it's cool. My teachers throughout my whole time at Edna have really helped me when I seek for help. But recently, with everything going on, I find myself using the garbage can tool. So when I use it, I take out my imaginary garbage can, take the lid off, and throw my little worries away. But when I find myself drifting into the yellow zone, I'll see the tagline in my head. I let the little things go. This helps me cope with people still on my recess ball or couldn't be in line or worried that I might miss up on the morning announcement. Sometimes I just combine those two tools. I love to just sit down outside and enjoy a good book. How do I cope with my feelings and emotions at home? It's hard. Sometimes I can't keep on using these tools over and over again. So I might just lay in my bed and let it out. After I find myself in the green zone and ready, but after I find myself in the green zone, I'm ready to tackle my day.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate that. Daniel Duffy. Daniel is a 5th grader in Ms. Levin's class. So Daniel, please answer the following question. How does our current grading system accurately represent what you have learned?
The current grading system shows little numbers, and they only show how you're doing in one specific area. It goes on a 0 to 3 scale, 0 being the worst, 3 being the best. There are a few pros and cons to this system. Pros being it takes less time for the teachers to type it all up, and the parents have an easier time looking at the subcategories for a particular subject. The cons are it isn't very detailed. The parents don't get a very precise description, so they can't specifically see their children's learning throughout the grading page. If I was part of the school board, I'd let the parents get a small paragraph on each of the basic subjects, math, science, etc. Now, I know this will take a lot more time to do, and I realize just how many kids there are on the MVSD. So I get why they only have numbers as a grading system. However, for parents to truly understand their kids' learning progress, it would be best to have a more detailed grading system, including more comments on each subject area. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Excellent. Lots of notes to take there. We definitely have good input. Next, thank you, Dean, Alexandra, and Daniel. You've provided us with great recommendations to move forward with, and we hear your voice. Next up is Old Mill School, Jason Madden.
Thank you. Good evening. First to speak is Maya Bach, 5th grader in Ms. Berger's class. And the question is, what excites you most about going to middle school?
Okay, hi, I'm Maya Bach, and I'm sitting now, here today to tell you about what excites me about middle school. But before I do that, let me tell you a little about myself. My name has a J in it because I'm from Sweden, but I moved when I was a couple months old to Mill Valley. In my free time, I like to play sports, make jewelry, and be with loved ones. One thing exciting about my life, I think, is that I'm my school secretary. Now that you know a little about my life, I can tell you what I think excites me about middle school. One thing that excites me about middle school is that I have friends from different schools, and if we go to the same middle school, I'll get to see them almost every day. Also, I will get to have multiple teachers, which is exciting. The campus is really big, and I have to find all my classrooms. That will be a very exciting experience. Another thing is the chances are high that I make some more friends, and that's always fun. I can't wait to see what happens on my magical middle school adventure. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Maya. Nice job. Okay, next up we have Caden Macari, who's a 5th grade student in Ms. Typing's class. So Katie, please share with us, what school programs or activities help you and your family feel connected to the school community?
One of my favorite activities is Lapathon because it helps kids raise money in a fun and friendly way. I love Lapathon because it brings everyone in our school together. Whether it's getting a snow cone or running laps, everyone's excited about one of the most fun days in the year, which also unites us as a school community. Lapathon is great, but for me, the Kiddo Carnival comes out on top. I love how everyone's excited about the new rides and being able to see their friends from different schools. I also love that it's an opportunity to meet new lifelong friends. This is how I stay connected to my family, my school, and my district. Thank you.
Nice job, Katie. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Maja and Kaden. Now hear from Strawberry Point School Principal, Kimberly Russell.
Good afternoon, everyone. Isaac Jewett Hall is a fifth grader in Miss Quack's class. So Isaac, please can you share what are some ways you make sure everyone in your class and school feels included? And what do you do when you see someone who is not included?
In the broad meadow of kindness, there are many flowers of inclusivity. Each of their petals is a way to make someone feel noticed and thought of. Of these many petals, I have compiled a few of my classmates' ideas. One way to be inclusive is to talk or check in with students who look lonely or are new to the school, so that they don't feel like their own isolated planet spinning aimlessly through its own isolated universe. For example, if someone is sitting on a bench by themselves, ask how they are doing or how their day is going. Another way is to invite others into your game friend group. This ensures that they are not feeling longing to join but can't. If you are playing a game, ask others if they would like to participate. A third way is to make sure everyone's voice is heard so that they don't feel ignored. For example, in a class discussion or brainstorming session, try not to talk over someone else. By utilizing these simple strategies, we can be more inclusive for a better world.
Wonderful, Isaac. Thank you so much. DePunch Tainted is a fifth grader in Mr. Gasparini's class. DePunch, please tell us, with the rise in the number of both fires and droughts, more people are discussing climate change. What changes can you make in your individual life to help the environment? And what changes would you like to make at your own school and in your own home?
Hello, my name is DePonch Tate, and I will be representing Room 10 at Strawberry Point School. The following response has been created in collaboration with my classmates and teacher. As individuals, we can help the environment by being more thoughtful about what we purchase and reusing whatever we can. For example, at home, my family reuses old jeans and soup cans to create pencil holders. Another possibility is buying food in bulk so that we aren't purchasing food that is individually wrapped in plastic. A major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions comes from our food. Committing to a meatless meal of the week could help lower your family's carbon footprint. As a school, one of the greatest things we can do to help our environment is to find solutions for our food waste. According to USDA.gov, 30 to 40% of our food supply is wasted. As a green team member, I have seen hundreds of bags of individually wrapped carrots, kiwi, and tomatoes go to waste each week. Our green team members designate time before school and at recess to help take all the uneaten food that is wrapped in plastic and separate each item into our landfill and compost bins. This is important because food that winds up in our landfills turns into methane gas, which is 25 times more efficient at trapping heat in the atmosphere. Separating the landfill waste from the compost is good practice, but it doesn't do much to undo all the resources that were used to grow, process, package, and ship the individually wrapped food items for our school. One solution my class came up with is to donate uneaten food to charities that help people who are food insecure. Another solution is to look at other school lunch providers who use less individually wrapped foods and less plastic. One of the major themes we came up with as a class was the idea of more sharing, less buying, and some impactful solutions to help our environment might be saying yes to hand-me-downs or having a community share site where you could check out a power tool or kitchen appliance instead of buying a new one. Our school has a Halloween costume exchange so that families don't have to buy something new. We can share or reuse old costumes. Recycling is good, but it shouldn't be considered a solution. Instead, we should reuse whatever we can and consider the things we buy and the impact it has on our environment. These actions and solutions are less about saving the planet and more about maintaining a livable ecosystem for all living things. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac and Taj. Your ideas and feedback are helpful in providing us ideas. Next up is Lisa Lamar, our principal of Tam Valley Elementary School.
Hello, Carolina Sevier. Carolina is a fifth grader from Miss Kelman's class. Carolina, please share your thoughts on what are the most important elements in a classroom? And if you were to design a new middle school, what would you be sure to include?
I think the most important elements in a classroom are having good teachers, having cozy and comfortable places to learn, and making the learning fun but still be learning. If I were to design a new middle school, I would be sure to include more tables for people to eat at and classes for people with different and special needs. Thank you.
Ilse Edelson is a fifth grader from Miss Padilla's class. Ilse, please comment on. Different world events have been prominent in the news. Which recent story have you followed? If you were a world leader, what actions would you take?
Hi, I'm Elsie Edison. One ongoing event that I have been following is how libraries and school districts are banning books. Adults ban books to prevent kids like me from reading them because they think it's inappropriate. Recently, I went to Kelly Yang's book talk. She talked about how one of her books, Friend Desk, had been banned several times. It's one of my favorite books. It made me feel sad to think that other kids won't have the chance to read such an amazing book. If I was a leader, I'd create a group of people whose job it was to, 1, declare a law that you shouldn't ban books in schools, but to just make them available to the right grade levels. This way, kids would read the books that are not too scary or too much for their age. And 2, this group would also help teachers plan lessons, classes, and or give background knowledge for difficult books and make everyone feel secure. Thank you, and don't be afraid to read books that others tell you you shouldn't.
Next, we have Abigail Bailey. Abby is a fifth grader from Miss Alderson's class. Abby, please share your thoughts on. A goal in California is for all new cars sold to be electric by 2035. What age will you be in that year? What are the positives and challenges of this goal? And what steps will you need to be taken in the next 13 years to prepare for this goal?
So me and Abby, I'm Naomi, me and Abby are gonna do it together. I'm Naomi. I'm Abby. California is planned to be all electric cars by 2035. When that year comes, we'll be 23. We'll be old. There are a lot of upsides to this goal. There will be better air quality, less pollution, and no more fossil fuels / gas.
And inhaling gasoline from normal cars can irritate the sensitive lung tissue, and a number of chemicals can enter the blood system. Breathing in car exhaust can also irritate the eye and respiratory tract, and is a risk to health. If we get rid of fossil fuel cars, people will have better immune systems and bodies. There are also disadvantages in making things that make this goal hard to achieve. To fully charge, it can take up to 5 to 8 hours. Gas can take up to 2 minutes to be refilled. Since everyone will be driving electric cars and an hour saved, the prices could go up. Some people might not be able to afford it. Our state might lose money because all the gas stations will need to be switched to charging stations. And trash from all the old cars and all the material for making new ones will be a problem. To make this goal happen by 2035, electric cars would have to be less expensive. A lot of people might not be open to this change for the following reasons. People don't want to get their car they've been driving. People don't want to buy a new car, etc. This type of thing even happened in the olden days when the wheel wasn't. It came in, we're like, what? And give out walking? And when Thomas Edison invented the light, and people said, what? And give my whale oil? Even when they invented the chain, they said, what? And give up my horse? And the same exact thing is happening right now, but it's saying, what? And give up my fossil fuels? Change can be hard, but in order to have a better future, we have to evolve.
But this is Naomi Mai, she needs a moment. Her picture wasn't up there. They were sharing that question, and that was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you all. I appreciate you putting so much thought into these questions. And finally, we have the Mill Valley Middle School administrative team. Unfortunately, Principal Danny Chu is unable to be here, but our Dean of Students, Rob Selly, is here, as well as Assistant Principal Jonna Homer.
Thank you so much. First, we have Casey Clemens, a 6th grader, who is going to answer this question. Casey, what is your favorite activity to do with friends? And how do these activities and the time spent with friends positively contribute to your overall health and wellness?
Hello, everyone. My name is Casey Clemens. I'm a 6th grader at MVSD. My favorite activity to do is chatting with my friends and catching up about the latest drama, because there's always something going on. 2, I like doing flips with my friend Kay Laura off of the pull-up bars. 3, I like playing a big game of tag with a bunch of my friends. So how do these things impact my health and wellness? To begin with, chatting with my friends makes me feel like I have a place that I belong. Doing flips and playing running games makes me feel free and strong and helps me build my friendship in a different way. My teachers are also very supportive, and there are many great clubs that can help you build your confidence and create new friendships, such as Journalism Club. I am in Journalism Club currently, and so is Claire, my friend right here. It's really fun, and you get a great supportive team to build friendships and publish your stories. I feel lucky to go to Mill Valley Middle School. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Casey. Next, we have 7th grader Claire Allen. Claire, how does our current grading system accurately represent what you have learned? And in what other ways would you best represent your growth and achievement at school?
Hi, I'm Claire. Thank you for letting me be here. And the current grading system not only represents our academic achievements, but the hard work that we put into school, completing each assignment within the limits and expectations included in the assignment rubric, teaches us to be precise and detail-oriented, skills important for the rest of our lives. I also appreciate how teachers give us plenty of time to thoughtfully complete each assignment. Though I think the current grading system is fair, one thing I think I could focus more on is participation and engagement in class. A lot of my teachers do participation points, but however, participation is not weighted as heavily as quizzes or tests. Participation and engagement was prioritized as much as quizzes. Students would be more encouraged to focus more in class and be more engaged in their learning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Claire. And now we have Liam Leary, 8th grader. Liam, what are some of the most important elements in a classroom? If you were to design a new middle school, what would you be sure to include? And in what ways would you design our middle school that is different than it is now?
Hi, I'm Liam Leary, as Ms. Palmer said, and yes, I am wearing the exact same things as I am in that picture. I like it. Raise your hand if you notice that. Well, I think some of the most important elements in a classroom are like welcoming and comfortable atmosphere for like for the children and the teachers, because everyone needs to feel welcome in order to like do their schoolwork and focus properly and all that. Also, tech is like really important. Like here in Mill Valley, like at 5th grade and up, every student will get a school iPad. But depending on what class you have, that could range from 0 tech to almost 100%. So I think like up-to-date tech is really important. Also, teachers and students should welcome and accept each other in classrooms, because as I said earlier, everyone needs to feel welcome. And acceptance is really good because that also helps like effectiveness and productiveness. If I was to design a new middle school, I'd include low flow faucets because that'll help save water. And right now it's really important because I've been told that we have had very many consecutive droughts and wildfires. Solar panels could help, and water needs pumps. And I'm told that schools have to pay electricity bills. So solar panels will help with that by being able to function the water pumps and just shorten the electricity bill in general. We currently have a wellness center that's being worked on, and I know it's already being worked on, but I think it's still important to have it because not only like no judgment counseling, help with homework, like basically just assistance in general. We could also have like more uses for like the pods here. Like some of you may know that there are 8 classes in a pod, but the pod itself is actually just more like storage and places for kids who haven't finished their quizzes or were absent and stuff like that. It's just for them and storage. I think it could have more uses for that. Like I have no idea what, but they just could have it. I've been told by my dad that where he lived, there was a like shop class elective where you could use tools to build like a scale model house, which some of those here at this table may learn about next year, and you will this year. And it's like just basically early engineering. And it will help with those of us, like me, who want to be engineers in the future. Some ways I would design middle school, the middle school that is different than it is now, is that I would have more classrooms so that either most or all teachers here can be attached to the main building. And this would help with rainy days so that students won't have to walk or run through the rain to get to their classes, which during these winter months, which school mostly functions in, is a big theme, I guess you'd say. We could also have like a bigger stage, because I mean you can't see it here, but like the orchestras and bands always either play outside or where most of these chairs here are, and that would just give them more room to perform. And it will also like in the orchestra and band rooms, there's like it sounds much more impressive. Like a lot more, but in here, it just echoes mostly. I mean, not even echoes, just we sound very small. So I guess we could have like more of an auditorium / gym. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, Casey, Claire, and Liam.
Excuse me, who should I give this back to?
You may set it on the table. Thank you. You've all done such a wonderful job. And so staff, family, and community, we all know that you've been instrumental in encouraging critical thinking, analysis, and engagement for our children. And thank you to our administrators for leading our schools, our staff for providing learning, and our board for your guidance. Thank you to our students tonight for sharing these amazing thoughts and insights with us. We will post this presentation on our district webpage and on our YouTube channel to mark this school year for our entire Mill Valley School District community. At this time, principals, please stand behind your students. Staff, you are invited to come stand behind your students as well. Students, there's a certificate in front of you. Please take that and hold it proudly. And parents, you may now come closer and get a photo and enjoy cookies on your way out. Thank you.